Right, so we're just on freestyle here, yeah? Our last video talked about avian flu and the variants, okay? My source today is Mr. Callum Semple from the Daily Express, okay? Yeah. And it was from the 16th of the 12th, 2020, so bang up to date. And it cost 70 pence to paper, but I just had a schneid in it, okay? And it was from the University of Liverpool. And he states that do not lose any sleep over these variants, okay? Now, if you watch some of my videos back, I talk about the coronavirus or the corona being the crown chakra and the creativity and logic that therefore we let in and the information that we let in. Therefore, basically in many variables, but basically your own true variable, which is your own decision. It's mandatory or non-mandatory, as they say. Do you know what I mean? Depending on which choice you would like to take or listen to. Sorry. And I'm even saying sorry now, bad word. So he says, don't lose no sleep, yeah? And leave the virology to the scientists. As far as I know, virology goes from science to vets to doctors. So are we all not scientists? Do we all not observe the world, the universe, and everything in it? So it says basically in a past video that I've done or past information I've put on, scientists are saying that they can't understand nature, therefore the nature of a creator in my book. So he says don't lose sleep over this variant, which is 17 variants. Yeah, 17% of males are so-called targeted individuals. Isn't that a strange number? Go and check it out on NLP as well. And that it carries 17 mutations, and it were basically spread only in Scotland and Wales, but from the southeast. So there's three variables: Scotland, Wales, and the southeast. Is there males in it? Is there estrogen in it? Is there some steam in it? Do you know what I mean? You know? Is it to stop the lockdown in it? Do you know what I mean? Because how come it misses out Ireland and England? So he says experts are analysing the genetic code. We already know that scientists can splice the genetic code of the human DNA and therefore take out or remove any eugenical, say good or bad, whatever they want to call it, or scientists want to call it, or whatever they are messing with that might need messing with, or do you know what I mean? As I say, it's all corona, all crown, creative logic, thinking, analytical, be aware. And it said that, as I said, it's where it probably originated, that these are stress mutations. And he goes on further to say that we are in the early stages of understanding what's going on. And that was today, in today's Daily Mirror, by Callum Semple, a virologist, a scientist, telling us that they're in the very early stages of understanding what's going on. Okay? And he also states, sorry if I reversed that to Scotland and Wales, probably started in Scotland and Wales and therefore come from the southeast. I don't deal with probables, mate, unless it's probable positivity. I learned that off somebody else. Negativity or mixed, all the equations all into one. It's up to you at the end of the day. But releasing this kind of information is at the bottom page of Daily Mirror, and usually is the truth is hidden there. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to splash it all over the front page of the paper, okay? So we know now that the scientists can't understand nature. They're trying to do it through quantum and lots of other ways. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, to assist us. Do you know what I mean? In the long kick, that's what science is about, isn't it? At the end of the day, but to actually state, do you know what I mean? That we're in the birth of this, because you've got a corona up here and you've got loads of coronas down here. So the next strand, or whatever they think they call avian or whatever, or something's flew in, that the one corona, it gives off 17 other asymptomatic or symptomatic refluxes to whatever you put into your temple. Do you know what I mean? Could be that route, yeah. Do you know what I mean? They're not letting that much out. So that's just something to think about, people. Okay, the number 17, 17 is 8, 17 is 8, as above, so below. Or new beginnings, or whatever you want, your dielectrics, you stick on the floor and do the number 8. Do you know what I mean? It's a circle around your head. Then basically we're back to where we started, really, with coronavirus being a mental state. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, something that we went through. We certainly did catch this flu. They cut down on the antibiotics and telling people about antibiotics that we'd already led up to this. If you remember before it, they were saying stop taking antibiotics because we were fueling it, and then we had their superbugs and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So we could look at it on a totally different level that way. But for now, we'll just stick with the scientist and the virologist. I don't know if this person's actually advising the government or the scientist that's actually stood along Boris Johnson actually listens to this man. It's from the University of Liverpool, not Oxford or any other, what we call it, shots. So he says, don't be stressed about it. At the end of the day, there's no need to stress, no need to lose sleep. Okay, I know a few of us come under attack and lose sleep because of repetitive shit and other things. We'll scratch that as well. But for now, he says that basically the scientists are in the early phases or the early stages of trying to understand what this is. And basically, we know what it is. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it was gain of function. Do you know what I mean? We can add to that later. I've already put it out there before. And if it's got gain of function, we've already beat it. When you look at the little, I've said this before, when you look at the little pair of shoes on the floor, look for that sacrificial kick, that big kick, to make sure that none of this kind of crap happens again. So we're thinking morally, military, and also trying to put our finger on the pulse of shutting this lockdown down. Do you know what I mean? By saying, here's an admittance in one of your newspapers. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, the media makes 2 + 2 = 5. That makes 4 to me at the end of the day, because I've said this from the start. Corona is also a banking terminology. Do you know what I mean? And we'll go there again. So they're waiting for some banking stock market to cash in on people wanting to buy this cure as well. Do you know what I mean? You remember, there is no magical cure. There never has been. Do you know what I mean? It's like 3 magic beans with Jack and the Beanstalk. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Can you go and get 3 magic beans and a holy cow and go and find a goose and a little gold egg? I doubt it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So stay alert, stay awake, and keep your distance. Yeah. Spiritually, phenomenologically, that didn't come out very good, did it? And basically, in person. Do you know what I mean? You know, there's a lot of people. At the moment, how can I say? I'll leave that for, you know, I mean, I'll leave that for later. But as you said, that's from a virologist. Leave the virology down to the scientists. There's a big, massive diagnostic system going on behind all this, which I'll speak upon later. Do you know what I mean? Because YouTube doesn't give me any airtime, and when it does, it piddles about. Do you know what I mean? Likes to play little mind games and that. Do you know what I mean? So no problems. As long as you're letting people have freedom of speech and therefore let them be attacked, bring it on. Do you know what I mean? Or rather than put up research what this is, or CODSMGN, or whatever it means, do you know what I mean? Or LGBTQ to push through the pedophilia. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just going out on a limb, just tossing it freestyle. But there you go. There's the reality of it, people. 17 variants. Now, variant was an avian flu, first of all, as I said. Do you know what I mean? A variant, it's got avian in it. Now, 17 variants of an avian. So we're back into the stomach, back into the corona, where we know there's hundreds of thousands, probably millions of coronas. That, pardon me, alcohol doesn't do it really any good. But it's still an addiction. Exactly as they're addicted now, trying to work out how our gut, which is our second mind, affects our first mind, and therefore to be pH balanced and tune into our natural environment. If we want this natural environment, that's to come this big green new deal. Do you know what I mean? If we're all out of whack and out of sim with it, Do you know what I mean? Out of sync with it. We're not going to be able to tune into it much. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, even though we do automatically anyway. You know, there's a whole lot of alchemy that goes into this, and esotericism, and a whole load of common sense and logic. So there we go, people. Don't lose no sleep over it. And they're in the very early stages of understanding about this virus and how to reverse it, not progress it. Okay, with tiers and stages and rites and rituals, and trying to corral and contain certain parts of other parts of something which I'm not going to talk about in this present video. But for now, that should keep everybody safe there and make it a wiser decision on 17 variants, then avian flu, then HIV, NN1, 666. 666 belongs to God, belongs to the Creator, belongs to man, creation, and woman. Okay, yeah, nature means create. Do you know what I mean? No, dirty devil Satanist created the word 666 and made it his own. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, nobody goes, the word 6 or 13. It's just all bullshit where it's all hidden. Do you know what I mean? Real knows real, and that's about as it works. Do you know what I mean? There's the proof there. If you go back into some other videos, I can tell you that it's a corona, it's a way of state, a state of mind, it's a mental side. It's your mentalism. Mentalism is the first law of the universe. Okay? That's what this is: an info war, a psycho war, a war to control basically the full spectrum. Do you know what I mean? The full spectrum. I mean, and that's not what I mean. As we can see, that is not what is happening through this man here. Fair play to him, Callan Semple from the Daily Mirror. Nice little bit of proof there. Don't lose no sleep. Do you know what I mean? If you've got the flu, stay in bed for 14 days, drink some Lemsip, bit of honey, bit of brandy, some boiled cider, some chicken noodle soup, and the flu usually goes away, okay? And look for the long kick from that. Do you know what I mean? If we've constantly got the flu, we're constantly being harassed, or other certain things, then these are also problems we've yet to face. All right, ciao.